There's so much mud now. We had a massive rainstorm last night come through here and just coated everything with mud. So today is going to be a heck of a day trying to find stable footing, being able to set up my tripod. Howdy, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are starting with a picture of a sumac tree. I want to see if I can maybe isolate down, just get one or two of the stalks. The problem is today there's a lot of wind, so I'm going to have to wait for the perfect moment for the breeze to die down enough, or we're going to have to really ramp up the shutter speed. So for this first one, I'm thinking we might shoot black and white. Might leave it as color, just so you can see the intricate detail of the red sumac, kind of the rusty color. But with the sunlight hitting it on the side, kind of giving it some shadows on it, I'm also thinking maybe black and white might look more interesting. So we'll grab the camera out, we'll see how this looks. Finally decided upon a composition that I like. I initially tried shooting the ones up a little bit higher, and I will look into it a little bit later, but with the light coming in from one side, it was very harsh. But with there not being very much separation with the trees behind it, it just looks very busy, and there's just too much greenery all around it that doesn't actually blend in with the photo or add to the composition. Instead, it just kind of looks like a blurry mess. So instead of looking like a nice photo, it kind of looks a little bit too chaotic, too busy, far too much going on in it, far too much greenery, far too much leaves of every kind. So I started shooting the one down here where you can see it just before the trail starts. There's two much lower ones on not quite the lowest ones, but they're pretty much at eye level. And then right behind it as well, just in the background as it's fading out, you can see a little bit more of the reddish rust color of more sumacs themselves, even further in the background. So the amount of layers that you can see in this photo is kind of incredible. And I'm just now deciding, do I want to shoot at the 1.6 crop factor, punch in even more, or do I want to pull it back and just shoot it full frame at the 300 millimeters? So for the first one, we are at 1/13 of a second, f5.6, 300 millimeters at ISO 100. Wow. This is very unusual. I can see a little bit of a difference between them, just kind of broadening it out slightly more. But there's very little difference between the two photos, except just in the foreground, it introduces a little bit more of the grass and other stuff that's just barely peeking into the frame, as opposed to when it's fully punched in. Completely removes a lot of it, but it also does cut off one of the leaves that is pretty much dead center of the frame. So I'm gonna have to make a decision, but more likely than not, as I kind of like both of these pictures, I'm probably gonna insert both of them into the video, but I'll show you guys on the back of the camera what I'm talking about. The very first photo we took, as you can see here on the screen, it does bring in a little bit more of the foreground, and you can see a little bit more of the grass, even though it is nice, soft, and out of focus. But it also allows you to see all of the ends of the flower and the actual greenery itself. You're able to see a lot more in the composition, and you can kind of see the tree in the background as well, kind of going straight up and down in the composition. And again, right in front of that, you can just start seeing more of the sumac as it's going out of focus. And it sort of draws your eye to the main two, and then as you keep going into the background, you just see more and more sumacs pop out. Or do we pop into the second one, where the tree now almost fills the left-hand side of the frame, focusing much closer on the two sumac, but we're also cutting off more of the leaves. And you can see the one here at the bottom, it's almost probably missing 7 or 8 different leaves here at the end. But you can also still see the sumac here in the back, nice and soft. And it's kind of a double image between the two, where you see the two sumac in the front, as well as quite softened and well in the distance, you see more sumac. Kind of mirroring the image almost. Well, I was gonna try and readjust the image a little bit, maybe move it over just a slight bit more so I could maybe fit more of the frame in when I'm punched into the 1.6. Unfortunately, right now, the wind is picking up a lot. So I'm just gonna wait a few minutes for that to die down. Then we'll have another look at it. But in the meantime, there is a nice water rev kind of rushing over here. And I'm not quite sure if I'll be able to actually even get a nice image of it or not. But I'm gonna try to at least walk around, as there are a lot of rocks. You can kind of hop around it. I wanna see if maybe there's something a little bit further on I might like. I was thinking of using my drone to kind of put it around here, but there is a lot of greenery and a lot of trees around, and I don't wanna hit anything or damage it. So today might just be a grounded video. Well, I've waited a few minutes. The light is fading more and more, so it's not really making very much of a difference except lengthening the shutter speed to try to make sure it's kind of bright enough to actually be useful. So I'm just gonna stick with the first two that I got. I'm gonna insert them into the video now. Let me know which one you guys like more. Today is a nice day to go out for a hike, and an even better day for photos. Over there is the log I was talking about. I was thinking I could maybe use it as a vertical line going across the frame. Unfortunately, there's a bunch of stuff hanging all over it from like plastic, I think the fabrics, other stuff, so it doesn't really look very appealing. But secondly, the log itself, the tree itself, it's not actually straight. So it would be really difficult to try to get a straight line in the composition without making either the water look wonky or the background. So as interesting as it looks, yeah, I don't think there's really a photo there. Well, the water is moving quite fast, but the color of it is kind of nasty. It's really gloomy and dark, and just you cannot see very far down at all in the water. Very gloomy depths. Now, there are some interesting waterfalls over here, very slow little rocks everywhere, but behind it, there is also a beaver dam that you can kind of see. There's a tunnel that leads all the way down through this little entryway here. Probably, I'm assuming this must be a road over top, but going down there underneath, I see a lot of beaver dam. So I'm gonna see if I can try to just get a quick photo of the water here or not. Maybe try to incorporate some of the concrete bridge, but it doesn't really look nice. It's just a giant bridge of concrete Everybody's seen that. Nothing really interesting about it. Very mundane. So I'm gonna focus a little bit more on the waterfall and maybe some of the bubbles as they're coming down. Now, because I want a longer shutter speed, a circular polarizer will be absolutely no problem, as well as I may have to use my ND filter just to help bump up the shutter speed. I'm thinking probably 25 or 30 seconds would be perfect. As long as there's not too much breeze over here and nothing else moves. Now, there are sumac over there on that side of the stream as well, over here on the bank. They're not really in shot though, and you won't even really be able to know they're there. But since we got a picture already of sumac, I'm thinking it's okay to just focus in on the waterfall here. Now there is a stick or something over there with a bunch of rocks kind of placed on top. So I'm thinking somebody must have put those there. I definitely don't want to put my tripod in the water because it looks really murky and just disgusting. So I'm gonna probably move back just a little bit. And then if worse comes to worse, we can zoom in a bit further. Slapped on my 75 to 300. This picture is a little bit more spur of the moment. So in my mind's eye, I'm just gonna try to incorporate pretty much from the bridge down all the way to maybe a little bit of the bubbles coming here in the foreground. Or I may have to incorporate some of the concrete pillars there in the middle maybe. But worst comes to worst, we'll just kind of cut off a little bit of the top rock. Now, I wonder, instead of it being so vertical, I want to try to incorporate a bit more. Yeah, we'll go landscape. All right, so I think I kind of finally finished in on a composition I like. I'm just going to put on a polarizer. Then we'll also put on a 3-stop ND filter. And it brings us up to about 20 seconds. Now, I kind of had to work very hard just to be able to reduce / remove all of the greenery from the photo. There is still a little bit of breeze and you can still see some of the trees moving. So with a much longer shutter speed like this, I do not want any motion blur, and I really do not want any part of the photo soft of focus. So I'm at f40 at 20 seconds at ISO 100. Focusing in on the middle distance, about 2/3 of the way into the picture. And then we'll see how this one looks. There's a lot of movement in the photo and it really has an interesting dimension to it, where you can see all of the water as it's almost completely frozen still, but with all of the white bubbles that are flowing down it. This really looks interesting. Now, I'm just gonna try one more thing. I wanna see how this looks in black and white. I've been kind of finessing around with the photo a little bit. I tried a vertical orientation. Unfortunately, the rocks are not quite vertical, and with the lines not quite looking vertical, it just looks a little bit odd. As I said, some of the stuff was a little bit wonky, but it did introduce more of the foreground, bringing in more of the bubbles leading up to the waterfall. And I wasn't quite sure how I'd like that or not, so I flipped it around, took a picture of it anyway, and I'm gonna insert the one now that I like more than the other one. I'm still kind of 50-50 with it, so you guys will see now which one I preferred. Perfect. The breeze is starting to pick up a lot more now. So we just got the perfect photo. I'll have to show you guys as well. I should have taken a photo including the entire bridge area, as the entire section atop of it is all completely covered with more sumac. Again, tying into the theme of today's video. Not quite sure how that last photo has turned out or not. As I said, the vertical lines going across from where the rocks are, it is kind of weighing on my mind slightly. But as with everything in life, you always give your best shot at something, And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, well, you've learned what to not do next time. Now here is the beaver dam I was talking about. As well as in the bottom of the composition, you can also see the row of rocks that I was talking about, where it's not quite a vertical line across. And as you can see, it's almost descending from left to right. Yeah, I think I'm content with that photo for now. We'll start hiking back to the vehicle. Oh, all right. Well, that was a great day for photography. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any B-roll on the way back because there were a bunch of people playing t-ball, or I guess softball actually, as there was no tees. So I wasn't able to get any B-roll on the way back, but that's all right. I have to start heading home now. Sundown is another 25 minutes, so it's getting dark a lot faster. But I still have to edit this video, get it all uploaded. So I'm gonna start heading home, sign off here. If you guys enjoyed the video today, like, comment, subscribe down below. Let me know what you thought of the photographs. And I'll talk to you guys again in the next one. Have a good one.